Good morning, everyone, or afternoon to be more accurate. You may be wondering, why are we doing this 32 hours early? Well, that's because, you know, it's the
Tomorrow
Super
is
Bowl.
national holiday.
Yep.
It's not, but
it's an American holiday known as the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So who are we putting money on? Are we putting money on Kansas City, or are we putting money on Philadelphia?
I'm putting my money on Gene Kisuke.
Do you think Gene Kisuke will win in this movie?
Well, let's see. He is the main pro tag, and he's got a pretty good kickoff. Let's just keep it at that. Yeah,
and his whole lineup is pretty impressive.
Yeah, he's got Hayato Ichimonji and Joji Yuki as his linebackers. You got Takashi Hongo playing defense, and you have Shiro Kazami as a forward. So that's a pretty good dream team. I'll tell you what.
That's the dream team that's still to this day we still feel their presence.
Yeah. All you need is a stronger guy to help out on defense.
Now, for those of you who are tuning in to our loyal followers, the way we're talking, imagine, when Tom Brady said he retired.
Mm-hmm.
That be damned, situation be as it was, and not a really good one. But when he came back,
mm-hmm.
the like, oh my god, it's like, yeah. Because this movie is just like, whoa, and again, it's like seeing them coming back, even older forms, is still such a joy.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Yes, we're here to discuss Kamen Rider X, the movie. 5 Riders versus King Dark.
Not the Hanuman versus King Dark and 5 Riders.
Yes, because that was in Thailand, which they used footage from this movie plus footage from a different movie.
Someone actually reached out to me and asked me about that, and they're like, "Yeah, wait, there was another movie." No. Long story short, okay, because we also do talk about Ultraman on this channel too. I've also had my dab in that as well. Mm-hmm. A notorious filmmaker named Senpote Sands, infamous and famous, went to Japan and asked Tsuburaya, the company Tsuburaya, and Tsuburaya Sensei, who was alive at the time, that they wanted to do like an Ultraman movie, but also do it with their own created a hero, which I never thought I would need or ever believe I would have to or would see Ultra boobies in that movie. Because it's like, what am I watching? What is this? Long story short, they did the movie. They had the Ultramen. They had the suits. They had the blessing. They had the partnership, only for this man to come back and say that he owned Ultraman. Mm-hmm. And there was a very long legal battle between the two. That, like, this guy claimed that he made Ultraman, that he owns Ultraman, and I was like, no, you don't. No, you don't. And so that went on for quite a while. But during that lawsuit, Senpote Sands and company go to Toei and say, hey, you got a popular hero series too. We want to make another movie with your heroes. And what did Toei say? But they did it anyway. Because, again, I'm not saying that making the costumes is very hard, but you can tell that these are not Japan affiliated or Toei issued Rider costumes, because there are many scenes, especially with Riderman, that you could see the guy's eyes as the helmet is like right here.
Yeah.
You can see, and like the Kamen Riders look very Filipino, and they took, I think, this movie, which is only 30 minutes, and expanded it to an hour. And you could totally tell when the movie finished, and then when the Thai Sempote Sands version of it began, because we have all the monsters, the riders, everything, but then they cut to these cheap-looking guys in loincloths and foam heads that are apparently King Dark's most devious minions. And tying it all together is the supposed monkey god, which is, take your pick, Goku, Wukong. It's Hanuman, pretty much.
Yep.
Hanuman.
Sun Wukong, Sun Goku. Same character, different name, different origins. Originally Indian, but then Journey to the West kind of ripped that off, and then Dragon Ball ripped the rip-offs off.
Did you see that? Have you seen that poster that has been going around apparently for the World Cup, that they're saying that China is playing Japan?
Yeah. Goku versus Sun Wukong.
Yeah, that epic looking poster that's like Sun Wukong looking in the sky and it's Goku, and I'm like, man, if the Olympics didn't happen during COVID, dude, what kind of opening ceremonies? We got cheated. We got screwed. Japan got really screwed on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's the whole thing. And, you know, the focus wasn't on the Riders or Ultraman. It was on Hanuman dancing and jumping around. And
yeah, while everyone's like
just standing there. And apparently Hanuman can even change sizes. So King Dark goes from being like this giant thing, and he just gets slapped across the face, and then
also if you look really carefully, King Dark in the movie poster looks like they just traced over Ultraman, because he's like, King Dark is like,
yeah, total rip. And again, talk about a violent show. Even, I mean, I know Ultraman is violent because he's either the Spacium Beam or the Spiral Slicer. You're gonna decapitate someone. No, in that movie, spoilers, no spoilers, Hanuman gets his thing and actually stabs King Dark. And no joke, King Dark starts convulsing blood and dies. The Kamen Riders didn't beat him. Hanuman did.
Yeah, it's like,
and you're seeing King Dark, you're like, and I'm like, and the Riders is just standing there like, and of course, I'm like, I know that King Dark doesn't die. Not yet, anyway. We still got
9 more episodes.
Yeah, we still got some ways to go, but luckily we only have to deal with 30 minutes. Because I'm like,
imagine we stretch this out for 2 hours.
Long. Let's try. Well, we'll see how long we go. This is only 30 minutes. So, also, movie ticket prices were like what? Back in the 70s, like $1, not even $1.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine today's ticket prices? And you're going to see a 30-minute film.
They could just as well watch at home.
Yeah, you know how bad.
It's like the Simpsons movie. It's like, everyone in this theater is an absolute idiot, and the biggest idiot is you.
Well, yeah, but it's also kind of like those Fathom events where like they used to do like premiere episodes.
Oh yeah,
you know, like they used to do that. They did that for Doctor Who. They did that for
they did that for Dragon Ball Daima.
Yeah, and I was just like, okay, listen, I'm not saying I'm not. But what I'm saying is that I'm not paying like almost $20 and snacks to go watch something for 30 minutes. You'd have to give me at least an hour to an hour and a half for me to justify. Yeah. I love going to the movies. I do. I love the movies. I can't get enough of the movies. The smell, the feel, I love it. But if we're going for 30 minutes, Well, tell us in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, would you spend in today's prices, if Kamen Rider X the movie was being played in a movie theater, would you pay $15 or $20 to get the Dolby Digital 4K experience to watch this movie? Because I feel like you would just watch it at home, make your snacks, and have some friends to watch it, and be like Mystery Science Theater 3000. Let us know.
Yeah.
But yes. All right. Well, let's get down.
Like freaking Doctor Who though, like at least it was a full movie. And
well, they gave us the regeneration episode, and then they gave us the episode with Capaldi. I'm like, I already saw when we lost Matt Smith, and I'm not.
Oh no, I'm talking about Day of the Doctor. I saw Day of the Doctor in the movie theater.
Yeah. No, Day of the Doctor. Yeah. That's worth it. That's totally worth it.
Yeah, and it came with the featurette featuring Colin Baker.
I'm talking about like that whole thing where they were doing like the new Doctor. I'm like, we only were here for like 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Not that I'm kind of mad, but I'm not like the show was not worth like the price they were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get down to business.
This movie, it's like, here's the thing: almost every Kamen Rider movie we've done so far, like it's been like every Kamen Rider movie we've done so far, they've been like maybe 45 minutes, maybe 70 minutes. But this is the first one we did that's literally 29 minutes plus change. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, and again, I felt like if this was a now movie, like right now, they would have put more, like they would have done an airport scene or something of the riders showing up, because a lot of them were like, you're in the Sahara, you're in Paris, you're in the US. It's like, well,
hey, Joji, where have you been? Oh, well, I was in Tahiti. Oh, okay. Yeah, Joji, where were you? Because, spoiler alert, you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah, it's like, how did you guys get here? It's like, oh, we were just in the neighborhood. I'm like, I've been getting my ass kicked by the Greek pantheon and also very racist stereotypes, and you guys just barely show up now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's kind of like
I mean, at least they're justifying saying, "Oh yeah, we were fighting the government of darkness, just in New York and Paris and Tokyo."
Yeah. But it's not like Sentai where it's like, I had a friend ask me, so answer me this. So what happens? So when the series ends, that's it, right? That they don't talk about them anymore. I'm like, kinda, sort of, unless there's a movie. It's like, but they're still there, right? Yeah. So why don't they help out the new team?
Well, funny thing about the last 9 episodes. Better question is, where are the writers during Amazon and Super One?
No, I know. That's the whole thing. It's like, well, movie or plot or something, they'll all come back eventually, but it's like, man, it must. Again, he said it, and I somewhat agree. It must suck to live in Japan. I mean, every month there's like an evil organization trying to take over, or some giant monsters coming out from the sea. Like, dude, insurance premiums must be BS. And I'm like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Every day there's just something going. There's some cosplayers trying to take over the world. I don't know. Don't know. Yeah. All right, then. Let's get down to business. What an opening.
All right. Yeah, no, the opening is fantastic. Like we see all 5 riders together
on their bikes, like riding into the theme song of Kamen Rider X, and it's just like, man, you guys haven't changed at all. But then again, the suits themselves are not that old at this point.
Yeah. One thing that should be noted about this movie is that for a lot of these riders, this is the last time we see them unmorphed.
Yeah. The next time, what? Super One?
Like not even then. It's like this. Like in the actual TV show, we do get to see Shiro and Hayato, but in the TV show for Kamen Rider X, this is the last time we ever see Hayato unmorphed. Very next time we see Hayato, even in his costume, will be in Kamen Rider O's Let's Go Rider Kick.
Yeah. I mean, we don't see the riders again unmorphed, even like in current Kamen Rider. Very seldomly do we see the original 5 anymore. We get to see Hongo, we get to see Kisuke.
Yeah, and Fujioka, like we don't even see him after this movie. Until Kamen Rider Gaim. Well, technically, we do see Fujioka in Agito the movie, but not as Takashi Hongo. You bastard! See, that's a Robot Chicken skit. I heard that in Enterprise, William Shatner will be making a comeback, and not as Captain Kirk. You bastard!
Yep, I know.
Yeah.
It's just so weird, like, again, seeing that there's a point in the movie where you see them in Riders, and then I guess they were there. I don't know if they filmed that later, where it's like all of them doing the transformation.
Yeah. Part of me was wondering if that was stock footage from the previous 2 seasons.
I was wondering that, because I'm like, did you guys really get them all back? At that time, I'm like, actors are actors, but then again, it's the companies that say, yeah, bring them back or don't bring them back. We don't really need them. But.
Yeah, so what's really, we always have to bring up the question of whether or not the movie is canon, or whether or not the Hyperball video is canon. Although, to be fair, this movie is so short, it may as well be a Hyperball video. It's like, it's semi-canon because, if you just ignore the part where all the riders transform together, it would be considered reasonably canon because what's it called? In the TV show, like moving forward from here, like episodes 27 onward, it's like we do get revisits from previous writers, and Kisuke doesn't recognize Shiro, for example. But thing is, if not for this one scene, I would have reasonably said, hey, you know what? He met V3, but he never met Shiro. Yeah. So he would know that Shiro was V3. So, you could make that argument. So, I'm gonna have to like constantly rewatch that transformation scene just to make sure that like, Kisuke's not there for the transformation, because like otherwise it's like, if he knows, then how do you not recognize him? And the thing is, if this movie is canon, the most likely place it would have happened would be between episodes 24 and 27, because 24 is the one where they actually feature Toad Goemon, and 27 is when we actually have Shiro come back as a permanent member of the cast for the remaining 9 episodes. So, what's up?
That's a very good question, because I was like, wait a minute, some of you guys are already dead. Some of you guys have already been beaten. Are you telling me that? Oh, well, I mean, even so, it's like, well, they never said there was just one of Ulysses or Poseidon, or, well, maybe, because I'm like, oh, I in the first episode, it's like, I have made you into, God Poseidon, and it's just like, okay, is this like a one-time thing, or is there multiples? Because
see, at least with Scorpion Geronimo, like when we see Scorpion Geronimo in the final episode, spoiler alert, at least they establish, oh no, it's Scorpion Geronimo Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, so it's not the same Scorpion Geronimo, but the thing is, it's not like, oh, this is Icarus Jr., Ulysses Jr., Neptune Jr., Cronus Jr. No, they go by the actual names.
They go by the actual code names.
Yeah, so I again, I don't know when this particular certain particular decisions were made, but yeah, a bunch of previously defeated monsters just show up in front of King Dark, and then they immediately leave.
They don't even say anything. He just kind of opens his eyes and he's like, I thought the subtitles may not have been on the video that I saw, because I was like, he's just like, because usually they say like King Dark grunts, but no, it's he just and they just leave, and I'm like, dude, morning breath.
Yeah, you know, at least in Bokinger, when Gaja like summons his chillers, at least you know the Phantom say, curse you, Bokinger.
Yeah, I know, man. But of course, it's like, you know, we see Toad Goemon, we see Genghis Khan Condor, we see like, you know, Ulysses and a couple others. I'm like, okay, what now? What happens next? They just go out, and I don't know what the mission is in this movie.
They never made it clear, but
it's kind of like, just, you know, you know how good of writing or how good the movie. I mean, I'm not saying the movie's not good. It's just like, you know, that the writers really didn't care when the only thing King Dark tells his minions is, ugh, and there's like, ugh, and they just walk off. I'm like, you know, it's just like, yeah, what? You didn't get the orders? You didn't understand him? I understood him. Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, they walk off. They
walk off, and then Kisuke is just doing a speed trial on his motorcycle, as any member of Tachibana Motor Club does.
Yeah, you know that we're watching a Kamen Rider series, because I'm like, wait a minute, Tachibana hasn't done his whole grafting and his speed runs. But we're doing it in the movie. Okay, now you know we're watching a Kamen Rider show.
Yeah, and of course, just like any other Kamen Rider show, you know, Kisuke gets ambushed while riding by none other than
Mind on the track,
Genghis Condor and Toad Goemon.
And you know what? I'll say it. Toad Goemon was a lot more vicious in this movie than he was in his own episode.
That's true.
Like, he was more violent. Like, Genghis Condor was like
he turned people into tusk vampire things.
But you know, both of these guys have spears. And actual Genghis Condor, like, the rider just slaps his spear. But here's Toad Goemon just going to town on the Kamen Rider. He's like, no, fuck this. I'm going to kill you. I'm like, yeah, because you got such a BS part in the show, dude. Yeah. Don't get upstaged by no burn. Although someone is watching in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who could it be? It is God. Yeah. It is God and the Chimeras watching in a very well disguised band.
Yeah, very well disguised.
I'm
like no one would have recognized it.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I am not here right now.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Seriously, man, like, you're trying to hide a Toyota van with a few twigs, branches, and fish netting. I'm like, behind a muddy Rocky Mountain backdrop. I don't see it, Mike. I really don't. I don't see the van in there. I don't see it. No matter how hard you're telling me, I can't see it. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the Kamen Rider kind of just goes throughout it, beats everyone up. But I'm like, all right, you got a radio, You got the Cal Art students. What was in this van that was so important that you just decided to blow up the entire van?
See, I would have at least thought, hey, let's create a diversion so that he would come closer to the van so that when it blows up, the van takes him with them.
Yeah, but they didn't think about that. And I swear to God, whoever owns that car, God damn it, you were 2 payments away from making it yours.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you really thought that blowing up a van's gonna stop Kisuke,
how many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
No, because after that, it's kind of like, oh, yeah, they're gone. We must go to the next plot, which we go to a family.
And the thing is, Kisuke didn't even have to do much of anything against Chimera. He just judo flipped him, punched him in the chest, and then jumped away before it blew up.
I think Achilles was there too.
Yeah.
Although that's how important Achilles is. He's just like, well, whatever. He just got thrown off camera, and Chimera got tossed, punched, and I'm like, okay. And it's like, I wonder what God's up to. No good, most likely, Gene. You know this.
But it's like, can't Achilles ever catch a break? It's like first you got shot by Apollo, then he got shot by Apollo again.
Total Chad, man. Chads don't deserve breaks. They deserve to get fucked over in life. Don't ever be a Chad, boys and girls. Be nice to everyone, be respectful, and it's always good to have the nerds, geeks, and freaks on your side because you never know who the heck could be that next important figure in life. Okay? Respect others. Either that, you could also get a hot mommy big titty girlfriend in the future. All right? Don't make fun of the weirdos. Love them.
Yeah. Yeah, so a little kid wakes up because he hears the government of darkness chanting. And then he's like, Mommy, I heard God. What do you mean? I heard God talking about the end of the world. Oh, silly boy. We're not Jehovah's Witnesses. We're Mormons.
I'm like, hold on a minute. I like when they said you're talking to God, they all kind of looked up. It's like, no, down. I'm like, that's not where God is, honey. But it's like, this kid just happens to know. I'm like, who is this kid? He's a Kenny. He totally is. He's like, it's in a Gamera movie. It's like he just knows. How do you know about the government of darkness, kid?
Yeah.
How do you know about it?
How do you know about it? And
your dad's not a scientist. Your mom's not a scientist. Apparently, your sister's not a scientist. And it's like, how do you know? How do you know it's God? And it's just like, I gotta go call the Kamen Rider. I'm like, is there a phone number? Is there like Ghostbusters? Do they advertise on Nihon to public access? But no, he goes outside and just starts screaming and yelling, Kamen Rider, we need.
I'm gonna call X Rider and tell him what I heard. X Rider, and then out of nowhere, like the shadow, it's like who did the shadow knows? Like coming out of the shadow, it's like. Hey kid, what you got for me? Oh, Ichigo, thank God you're here. No, we're not thinking God. We're here to destroy God. Now tell me, what do you got for me?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. How long have you been standing in the shadows for, Ichigo?
Long enough.
How long have you been in the shadows? What were you waiting for?
You saw nothing.
I'm like, well, okay. I mean, I guess it's kind of cool, but he takes the kid back up, but only noticing that Ulysses was actually nearby. For some reason, Ulysses was nearby. I don't know. And you know what? I say it right now. God damn you, Ulysses. You did something that you should never do in a movie. I don't care. You don't kill the dog. He kills a dog, and I'm not joking.
Where's my mechanical pencil at?
Where's my
click? I'm like,
he killed a dog because it's like I'm afraid of dogs. I'm like, that's your problem. That's your fault, not the dog's fault. He actually poisoned gas and he
Poor
just
little
sick
dog.
the dog. You animal, you beast,
Bastard.
you
And then
fiend.
out of nowhere, Hayato shows up to fight Ulysses.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nigo,
thank goodness.
Kamen Rider Nigo, the second Kamen Rider shows up, and I'm like, get him, Nigo, beat him up, avenge your bitch.
Low rider kick. Yeah, I think he should have went for a high rider kick.
Yeah, you should have aimed for the head because I'm like, no, and avenge the bitch, avenge the cute little dog.
Yeah, you know, it's like you should have used you should have used a broil rider kick instead of a simmer rider kick.
Yeah.
So Ulysses is like, I don't have time for this.
You had time to kill the dog, you bastard.
Yeah,
You could have walked away.
With a remote control boat, and then out of nowhere, Neptune shows up with freaking Hydra and Cyclops, and I'm like, these guys are just petty, killing dogs, destroying robotic boats.
One kid was just playing with an RC boat toy that he had, minding his own business. And then you fucks come up and just like, stop that kid, get him for what?
Let's throw a harpoon at him. And then out of nowhere, like freaking Joji Yuki shows up. It's like, hey, quit throwing harpoons at people, you freaky fish guy. I am not a freaky fish guy, and I'll harpoon the hell out of you to prove it.
Yeah, Riderman or Kamen Rider 4, as they've also put in these subtitles.
So, spoiler alert, Riderman, and he's still to this day known as Riderman. So he died in V3, and then posthumously V3 was like, you at the heart of a true writer. From this day forth, I will refer to you as Kamen Rider Yongo. Only for them to 40 years later be like, yeah, you know what? We got our own Kamen Rider Yongo, and he's going to be played by Kamen Rider Eternal because surely no one's going to recognize that it's the same actor. And for some reason, Takumi Inoue is going to be the great leader of Shocker.
Yeah. Well, again, Inoue.
Yeah, we're going to get into that when we do Drive, but
but so from what I understood and looking into it, apparently Riderman is mostly considered like the secondary rider to V3.
And yet he gets the seat and the rank.
Yeah, he gets So it's kind of like, well, it's also the same thing goes for Nigo. Nigo is the secondary rider.
At least Nigo, I could make the argument that like Takashi's gone for a minute, so about 30 episodes, it's just Nigo being the Kamen Rider.
It's kind of like also saying, with Sun Vulcan that there's two Reds. There's not just one, there's two.
Yeah.
On Vulcan, they had the same thing where it's like Red left and he was replaced by another Red, but then he came back.
Yeah.
So it's like, technically we have a Sentai team with two Reds.
Yeah. So we've not at the same time, of course, but
not at the same time, but it's like there are two Reds because he kept his wrist bracer while they gave him another one. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm like, what's it called? And in Go Ranger, we had a yellow. He left, replaced by another yellow who died, and then the original yellow came back.
Mm-hmm. So technically, there is a way to have multiples, I guess. But
again, I can soundly argue Nigo being a main writer because he legit was the main writer in the original series for a decent amount of time. It just so happens that, Ichigo came back and it's like, okay, so like we're both called Kamen Rider now and we're both here at the same time. So we need to figure out a way to tell each other apart other than the fact that one of us has silver gloves and the other has red gloves. So I'll be Ichigo and you'll be Nigo. Okay, what about Sango? We don't talk about Sango.
We don't talk about the.
Yeah,
But
we don't talk about Sango through Ju Nigo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so apparently cue to the next scene where we go and see King Dark, that titan of a slouch. Apparently they've been building something in this cave. I'm like, oh, please don't tell me it's Apollo again. It's not.
I feel like it would have been better if it was Apollo again, but with new powers, maybe a new suit.
With the time that we had, it couldn't be, because I'm like, no. But yeah, you see, this is how amazing the Cal Arts students are at creating monsters. We decide to make a Frankensteinian type abomination, but not fully commit.
Bat Franken.
Yeah. Who names these things too? Who names them? Could have called them Frankenbat. It makes
you could have called them Battenstein.
Yeah, there's so many other cool names. I'm like, Bat Franken.
Frankenpire. Frankula.
Yeah. Use that name. What the hell? It's like, what?
Dracustein.
What's that? What was that clip from Aqua Teen Hunger Force? It's like, you're going with that name. Wow, that's so original. Can you once think outside of the freaking box? It's like, come on. What was the name of that robot where the guy's a robot and the girl's a robot? And
Cylon?
It's Lance Hendrickson. They're like, yeah, that's a good name. Yeah, use that name. Like, we're giving you 5 different good names. But no, Bat Franken.
Bat Franken.
Get out.
And this goes back to my complaint from last week about Genghis Condor. It's like you call him Genghis Condor because he has the ruthlessness of Genghis Khan with the ferocity of a condor, but for some reason he has vampire powers. It's like, why not just make him Dracula Condor? Or Genghis Dracula.
We've already used
Dracucon.
Yeah, something, but no.
Yeah,
I mean,
this goes back to what I was saying earlier.
That's why I said this whole show, they're Cal Art students, because Cal Art don't exist anymore.
It's like freaking instead of making them based on random animals, make them based on like freaking universal monsters. Were Lupin. He's a werewolf. He's Lupin. His name means wolf, and he's a werewolf.
Not much of creativity, Michael. But yeah, so apparently this monster has a cannon to his back, and he has bat wings and Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, nice way to throw back to that comic cannon from freaking V3.
Yeah. It's just like, I will defeat the Kamen Rider. Cue to Tachibana's Cafe.
Yeah, and it's really weird because it's like oh, the cafe. It's like, oh, the light goes out all of a sudden, and then once it goes back on, it's like, oh, these 4 mooks have been waiting there for a long time, and it's like, I had it with these goddamn Olympian monsters in my goddamn coffee shop. You in particular, I'm especially gonna knock you out because you turned me into a furry.
Yeah,
and that's exactly what Tachibana did. He took a fork and stabbed him in the eye.
Yeah, it was a fondue fork.
Yeah, and it's funny. It's like, hey, you guys want any coffee? It's like, we want a Kisuke gin. Well, I don't have enough ingredients to make you one. Would you care for a knuckle sandwich instead? I'll give you a knuckle sandwich. Here, you forgot your fork.
Also, I love the part where Kisuke shows up and he's like, okay, he's gonna fight, but Tachibana tells him, Gene, can you fight outside? Repair costs are getting really, really heavy in here. I'm like, poor Tachibana. I'm like, yeah, who's covering the bill for repairs, man? Holy shit. Every other week they're like fighting in his coffee shop.
Yeah.
And for those that don't know, okay, we're not talking about Starbucks or no. cafes and shops in Japan are very, very, very small. So I'm like, I'm surprised even 4 people could fit in here, let alone throw down. I'm like, yeah, that's going to cost them. Although, thank God they went outside. And it wasn't because Kisuke Jean threw them out. No, they all like, okay, we're walking outside now. What? Okay. All right. And then they get in the car and then they drive off. I'm like, where did the car come from?
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like I still love this coffee shop scene because it's like Tachibana's had enough. It's like that scene.
Is like we said, is just like Alphonse Pierre.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Naked Gun 3 where it's like that's it. I've had it. Fun. No. From Naked Gun 2.5, where it's like that's it. I've had just about enough of these guys. Let me at him. And then he charges towards like one of the bad guys, and then and everyone's like, ooh, and then it's like it's like on the ground. It's like,
yeah.
It's like you had that amazing build-up, only for you to end up on the floor. Except Tachibana follows through.
Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, at least this show addresses something that Power Rangers never did. The cost of monster fights.
Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah. Seriously, Angel Grove should be like a barren wasteland by now with how many giant robots and monsters go stomping across their infrastructures.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite episodes of Ultraman is that episode of Blazar with that insurance salesman. Just because it's like that one dude who sold a ton of insurance to a bunch of people, like all of their houses are being destroyed by those two kaiju in that episode. It's like, no, why do you have to fight over there? Why can't you fight somewhere else? Because those premiums.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Well, yeah, we finally get to the whole thing where all 5 riders finally come and save Tachibana and the girls.
Yes.
For some reason.
Also, the little boy's dad turns out to be Frankenbat the whole time.
How? Like, that makes no sense. Besides, didn't his father have a mustache?
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's like he shaved it off the following morning.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Wait. But also, it's kind of like, but I mean, the little boy and his sister were also walking with, I don't know who this guy is, but then he turned into Icarus.
Oh, yeah, Icarus, not Frankenbat, Icarus.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had a mustache. Oh, he shaved. Okay. Then you know he's evil.
Yeah. And then he brings her to Mako and Chico, who apparently are soon to be victims of Frankenbat, who it's like he drains like 4 different containers of blood. Now, keep in mind, a single adult human has about 5 liters of blood, so it feels kind of weird that you're splitting it across 4 separate containers. You're not going to get a lot of blood, and yet somehow they're like halfway full. It's like, and also they're like bright red. They're not. It's like, have you even seen your blood being drawn? When it's highly concentrated, it becomes dark.
Yeah, well, I mean, typically people want it that blood is red, and I'm like, well, yeah, that's true.
It is red, but the thing is, when you concentrate it, it's like when it becomes highly concentrated, it becomes a dark color. It's like,
they believe it more if it looks like tomato juice than it would if you were like drinking like grape juice or something, you know?
Yeah, it would be, the color would be somewhere in between.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, that's Bat Franken's whole thing is collecting these girls and draining them,
drinking it like wine, and it's like that's
the evil scheme of Bat Franken.
It's like, I get you're trying to do the whole Dracula thing because Vlad the Impaler did ferment people's blood into wine, and he drank that wine in the battlefield. But this is ridiculous. If you've got an IV, if you have an intravenous extractor, like why not just transfuse it directly into your own body? I feel
And
like
the thing is that
I
he's
feel
just
like draining it into jars and then drinking it from a glass is just
it's like
excessive.
it's kind of like milking a cow, but instead of getting like the entire supply of it, it's like just drip. It's a dripper. I'm like, yeah, well, we're gonna be here for hours. Holy crap!
And it doesn't just drip. You drip it into like a glass, into a glass, like a basic glass.
Yeah. And I'm like,
just so you could drink it immediately.
Yeah, that's so like, well, again, this is God, come on, not really. But yeah, cue the 5 riders riding off into to save the girls because they just know where they are. Apparently they know, so it's about time, but only to let X go by himself.
Yeah.
And then get
ambushed by 4 combatants.
By 4 kaijins and Bat Franken for some freaking reason.
Yeah. It's like now that you're trapped, I can shoot you no problem. But first a roll call of your past adversaries. Icarus, Ulysses, Cyclops, Kronos, Prometheus, Lycidas, Hercules,
yeah, the music from the Lord of the Rings.
Freaky Fish Guy. I am not a freaky fish guy.
Yeah, no, I was just like, dude, cue the music from the Lord of the Rings and the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah,
because while you have all these monsters here, it's like now it's time for the epic battle of 5 riders versus 12 different kaijins.
Yeah, and mind you, Kisuke's holding them off on his own without them. Despite being roped up, he even kills 2 of them right away.
These creatures, well, these kaijin, all the kaijin are just they're bio experiments. They're not cyborgs. They never said they were cyborgs. So you're fighting organic with inorganic modifications.
Mm-hmm.
So
we'll tell that to Ryoko.
Yeah, that's like a human trying to fight a car. It's like you're not gonna win, dude.
Unless your name is Ken Masters.
Or
you Ken.
But then cue the whole transformation of the 5 riders, which say it whether it is stock footage or not. I mean, it's pretty hard to. Well, some of it is like stock footage, I think.
You know what makes it look the most like stock footage? The fact that you have Takashi up on a hill, but then you have Shiro like near a temple.
Yeah. No, that was just like, were they actually there?
Mm-hmm.
But then cue the original Kamen Rider theme song because it's about to get real. It's about to throw down, people. We're about to go into LARP mode.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So then all the riders are fighting off all the past combatants. You got Kisuke fighting against Prometheus and Freaky Fish Guy. I am not a Freaky Fish Guy. While Ichigo fights against Cadius and Atlas and whatnot. And it's like, yeah, some of the scenes are actually pretty cool. Like you got V3 fighting 3 monsters at the same time.
I was just like, again, it's like the battle at Helm's Deep with Gimli and Legolas, where it's just like 1, 2, and he kills the elephant. That still counts as 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like 5, 7, 8. Wait, did I miss one? Okay, I'll start over. 1, 2.
Yeah, it was like they're throwing them off of bridges, off of hills. It is literally a Hell in the Cell match right now. It's the Royal Rumble.
It's like credit where credit is due. It's like I loved like the diverse segments of the same building that they're fighting in simultaneously, which means that they have to in order to get those tracking shots to go from one rider to another. That means they have to choreograph for like a continuous fight sequence for a solid certain number of minutes so that while this fight over here is happening, you have to still be in the middle of that fight over there so that when it pans over, it's like you're not just Oh, the camera's coming over.
There's that whole thing even where they're like that they're fighting, I guess, in a swamp area.
Yeah.
And you get to see the number of like Kaiden and
it's like 5 against 10 or 5 against 15.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tachibana rescues all the women because that's what Tachibana always does.
That's what Tachibana do.
Yeah.
But it's like, they do the whole we beat you up, but we throw you in a pile type of thing. Where it's just like, aren't you guys? I mean, Genghis Condor and Toad Goemon slammed together and they blew up.
Yeah,
but
it's like they're made of paper mache or rats.
Yeah, but it's like with these guys, you're literally stockpiling them, and they're like unconscious, laying on top of each other. I'm like, isn't there supposed to be some big kaboom or something? Oh wait, we still got one kaijin left. It's the main villain of this movie.
Yep.
We got to kill him to make the explosion happen.
There's the kaboom. The great earth-shattering kaboom.
Yep. But of course, they all get stockpiled up. They're unconscious, and then Bat Franken shows up. Mid! Yeah. Bat Franken, you would think you got a cannon on your back, dude. I've never once seen you use it once.
Except for like that one scene where like the dude was on his motorcycle.
Yeah, like you got a cannon,
and you still couldn't hit him. And the thing is, I would make the argument: well, you're flying. It's kind of hard to aim while you're flying. But you're standing still. You have time to aim.
Yeah, nothing. But yeah, he winds up getting the wings kicked off of him. And now he's flightless. And now commence the lineup of, I guess, tossing Kisuke Jin like a football with the enough momentum force.
Yeah, it's like you got Ichigo, Nigo, V3, and Riderman like all lined up. But it's like, and like he basically jumps over all of them one at a time. It's like Kamen Rider, high kick.
It would have been more if all 5 riders did a kick on him, you know?
Yeah, quintuple rider kick.
Because the minute that he just lands that kick, it's like, wait, you guys are all the way over here, and the pile's over here, but the force was enough to... And then when he just lands on the pile, it's like, oh yeah, now there's the boom.
Yeah, now there's the earth-shattering kaboom. Rider, super high.
Although these last few minutes kind of had me scratching my head, you know? Because, okay, so we killed all the kaijins. They're gone. Everyone's gone. Okay. The next scene is Gene Kisuke opening the doors to, like, King Dark. And I'm like, we got less than, like, 4 minutes
left. And keep in mind, the movie is called 5 Riders versus King Dark.
King Dark. Yeah, I was like, so wait a minute.
Yeah, it's not called 5 Riders versus Bat Franken. It's called 5 Riders versus King Dark.
3 minutes left. Are you telling me we're going to just throw down for like a minute and kill him and that's it? It's like, no. I mean, finally, Kisuke Jin meets King Dark, finally. The slob.
Yeah.
You know?
The slacking.
Yeah, just there, just like, whatever. But you're too late, he says. Like, you're right. You're too late. You're too late. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? It's like, you guys are worthy opponents. That is true. But I'm just a shadow of my power. I'm like, are you?
What the hell is that?
Really? This whole time, everything was just a hologram.
See, with Darkseid from DC, at least you could say that Darkseid is a all-powerful, omnipotent being from another dimension, where the Darkseid that we always see is just a physical avatar because he's that powerful. So he can only
that makes sense, but it's like we see this guy and he is physical, but we don't know anything about his powers, and it's just like, if I was a kid in the 70s and walked out of this movie, I would have been like, the same thing I said for Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. I have several questions about the title of this movie. But yeah.
What
We won.
paradise?
We won because we proved it was a hologram the whole time, and King Dark wasn't really gonna do anything in this movie. And then Tachibana meets up with his 8 riders that should make a team, but they won't.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah. So instead, like Tachibana and all these women are riding on that Zeppelin that we see throughout the movie. Was there like a cross promotion with that Zeppelin? Because we see that Zeppelin throughout the film, but it's never brought up.
I was like, wait, why are you getting in a Zeppelin? Why?
Like, and we see that same Zeppelin throughout the entire film. But like, what is the purpose of it? It's never mentioned.
I would have thought like it was maybe like God's Zeppelin or something. I don't know, but
yeah.
Regardless, it's like and then the credits.
Yeah, the 5 riders ride off while Tachibana's in the Zeppelin being like, hey, Digimon, monster friends for the boys and girls, hey, Digimon, champions of digital world.
Come on, Mike. That was such a heartbreaking last episode. That was so sad.
Yeah, but the thing, but you had to, but like watching that trolley ride off while they're waving away at their Digimons, like, yeah, that made sense. But like here, it's the same. It's like they try to do the same energy, but it doesn't work here.
No, because I'm like, there was no build, there was no nothing. It's kind of like, yeah, we had Kisuke Jin, but then the other one's just again stock footage. They weren't really there. But okay, that's it. We talked for almost an hour about a 30-minute movie, which was kind of what I thought we were going to do.
Yeah.
We did it. That was the 5 Riders versus King Dark. Shit.
Yeah. Oh, and stick around because this movie's double billed with a Mazinger Z.
Ooh. You can't diss on Messenger Z, man. You can't diss on the great Messenger. Again, remember that movie that came out a couple of years ago about the anniversary?
Yeah.
Or did you not see it?
No, I know of it.
Yeah, no. I mean, go on YouTube and just type it in. Messenger by himself, fights every single giant robot he ever had encountered, and he takes them all out. Mm-hmm. It literally reminded me of like, I'm like, dude, this is like a Kamen Rider, a Goku level. Like, I'm kicking everybody's ass. Like, it was so badass. That Messenger, that's why I'm like, nope, don't disrespect Messenger. He is one of the greatest of super robos. But yes, that's it. That is it.
Yeah.
I give it a 6.
I give it a 7 because, again, I feel like it had some good ideas, but they didn't expand upon them enough. It's like we got some cool fan service moments where the 4 riders do transform, but I wish their finisher was a little bit more grandiose and just like hopscotching over the other 4 riders, like Kamen Rider, super high kick.
Yeah. No, yeah. I know.
I mean, I wish they would have at least done like a Go Ranger type of thing where Ichigo would kick Bat Frank it up into the sky, and then Nigo would be like kick him in another direction, and then V3 kicks him in another direction, and then Riderman kicks him to the ground, and then X finishes him off. It's like X Rider kick, kind of like that Go Ranger thing, where it's like everyone participates. Or heck, you know what? If you want to be really petty, Kamen Rider ball, and then it's just a regular football.
I was about to say, I'm like, you could, they would have, but no, they didn't. So whatever, it's fine. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I will say that the Go Ranger Jacka movie, although that itself is like, what the fuck, that made more sense and had a better plot.
Yeah. I don't know what more to say about this movie. It's like, and this won't be the last time we see the other 4 riders in this season, because come next week, in our penultimate installment of Kamen Rider X, we'll be seeing some familiar faces from this movie.
Again.
But freaking Ulysses, goddamn you. I knew you were evil, but I forgot you were this evil.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but yeah, so 7 for me. I would say the biggest positive is them filming that fight sequence between like all those past hygienes and all those different angles. Yeah,
the fight was amazing. It's just
everything before and after was just why.
Yeah.
And I get it. You have to squeeze it into 30 minutes, but still.
Yeah, I know.
And what's the deal with that kid's dad being Icarus?
I don't know. That makes no sense. I'm like, wait a minute. But what do the people have to say?
Ulysses, you bastard!
Oh, I would say way worse, but I don't,
Yeah. He is now the second most evil GOD combatant. Still not as evil as the Austrian Asteroida.
Spoilers for those who don't know.
Well, watch our previous video if you don't know. Imagine stretching this 30-minute movie into a 2-hour review. Well, thankfully we're not gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. I would only pay $20 if it was an anthology of 30-minute films like Digimon the movie, but without Angela Anaconda. Angela Mon, go away.
So you guys do know that they actually have released the original 3 films uncut and unedited.
Yeah.
I believe Crunchyroll did that. You can also find them on Amazon. But they're the original 3 films, both Japanese and dubbed by some of the original English cast.
Yeah, and redubbed, because none of that Kari tried to use narration to somehow tie the 3 films together.
No, I remember when I was a kid, I actually did find the original movie that was like the 3rd part in Japanese. Horrible resolution and subtitles. But I'm like, what? You're telling me that this movie was actually an hour long and we only got like 30 minutes of it? And I was like, it involving the other kids and everything like that. I'm like, so why? It's because Pokemon did the movie, and so they decided why not instead of just going with
see the weird thing about Pokemon is there was an OVA that tied to Mewtwo Strikes Back, but they replaced that OVA with a different one for some reason.
There was a radio show back when radio was a thing, They had this whole radio show about how they got the DNA, what came of it, and having and they even did an anime of it. It's on YouTube of a little chibi Mewtwo.
Yeah, that was the original OVA that was supposed to accompany the actual film in the Japanese film.
Yeah, they didn't do it because apparently they said, or they thought it was too dark for a kid's. I'm like, are you talking about for Japan or just in general for worldwide distribution? Because I don't think Japan would have.
Because it would have made a lot more sense. The actual movie would have made more sense if you actually included that.
Yeah, it would have made sense. I'm like, so Mewtwo's just a jerk then. He's just.
But instead, we need to have Pikachu have some arbitrary rivalry with Raichu, trying to introduce Snubbull to the public eye, and have it all culminate in everyone teaming up to save Charizard from his tail being crushed by a boulder.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know it's. I mean, yeah, that would have made it made more sense if you watched that on YouTube and then go watch the movie wherever you can find it. It makes a million times more sense why Mewtwo is the way he is towards people. It totally just makes more sense.
But I can't stand the laziness of them just redoing the entire Pokemon movie, but in CG.
I refuse to watch it because I'm like, if it doesn't have that OVA in it, then why did you even bother? But again, that's the thing with even with Digimon is that, again, back in the day, the original Our War games was only a 30-minute thing.
Yeah.
So you couldn't make. That was, I thought, the best part of that whole movie was Our War games.
It was even better than the Golden Digimantle.
Yeah, you introduced well, we call him Omnimon, but it's Omegamon.
Yeah.
Did the whole thing with Diablomon, and it was so fucking badass. And then you had, again, I know season 2 had just started at that point.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, no. This would have been better if you had just, And
what's even weirder is that if you've never watched the movie, it's like they make references to it. Like,
if you had never seen the show and you're gonna go watch this movie, you're like, wait, what?
What? But also, if you watch the show but never seen the movie, it's like, yeah, you guys DNA Digivolve, just like that one time with Omnimon. I'm like, when would you know who? Like, I knew Omnimon was a thing because there's a lot of promotional art of him, but it's like, if you weren't in the know on foxkids.com, it's like, how would you know who? It's like, who's this Digimon and is he referenced?
Yeah, no, I know. That's why I'm like,
And then the Digimantle segment. It's like when did they get those 2 golden Digi eggs? See, like in the and the crazy part is
the anime, they actually
in the anime they actually find the mantle of miracles because oh yeah, we had to destroy the Emperor's ship, and then Vmon Digivolve to Vmon, and then became what's his name, Magnamon, in order to fight Chimeramon. But the thing is, it's like,
you wouldn't.
Where did the other Digi-Egg come from?
Yeah, spoilers. That movie gave spoilers because we didn't see the egg until later on. So it would have made more sense that you showed the egg later on.
Yeah.
So,
but also, where did the other egg come from? Because we didn't see that in the anime either.
Actually, it was in the original film that the kid, I don't remember his name in Japanese, but yeah, well, Willis had it the longest time. He had it. They even had this whole thing of, to go buy that because it'll make
but sense. The thing is, the only time we actually see it, it's like like Kari and TK had both of them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Davis didn't even have it.
I think they just like gave it to them for some reason. I don't know. I have to rewatch that movie. I don't remember it too much.
And a lot of it would have made more sense if in the episode with Shurimon, instead of introducing a new character named Michael, they just introduced Willis.
Yeah, but they didn't.
But they didn't. They introduced Michael instead. Oh, look, Betamon turned into Seedramon. Well, this is nostalgic.
Yeah. But, we'll see.
Yeah. How does Tachibana not become a Kamen Rider in his own right? Good question. Tachibana does almost as much actual fighting as Kisuke does this season.
Tachibana, well, the actor himself, again, as we said, is just a legend in Tokusatsu.
Yeah.
He was in Ultra Q. He was in the original Ultraman.
He was in Lone Wolf and Cub.
He has been in many Godzilla movies. The man is just a veteran OG. So, why isn't he not a Kamen Rider? That's a very good question. If we were in today's, like, anybody can get a drive, anyone can get, Kaiza or whatever, Tachibana would totally have had.
Imagine if he actually had the Kaiza gear.
Tachibana would have totally been a Kamen Rider. But again, for being you had to be literally dead, dying, and being a cyborg to be a Kamen Rider back then.
Yeah. Hey, Kamen Rider. Hey, Kamen Rider. Cyborg friends to the boys and the girls. Oh, God, no.
Oh, no. You did not.
I mean,
you brought that up, so you put your head in shame, Michael. Look, I stick to it. I mean, I was talking about this with someone the other day, because we were talking about like how Pokemon cards have just been ridiculous to get your hands on, and Nintendo or Pokemon company said that they're going to start printing more. So good luck with all you guys trying to sell ETB boxes for $150. The thing is that I was like, bro, let us be honest and let us just say it, okay? And I'll say it and I'll mic drop it. Digimon was vastly superior than Pokemon.
The anime, absolutely.
Like, I know, I mean, Pokemon had the games, which that was what got it to be. The games and the cards. Digimon kind of came in later with PlayStation and with the cards, and they really didn't make much sense even going back into the original format. But the anime was vastly more superior.
Oh, yeah.
They had heart. They had feelings.
Consequences.
This was again. We didn't call it anime. We were just watching cartoons. Yeah. This was the show that many people back in our that was like in my early teens when Digimon was on. That they felt sad. That they felt like they had feelings watching this show, especially towards the end. It's like how many people have admitted that moment where Palamon is running after the train and crying, calling out.
Yeah, because she didn't want to say goodbye because that would be admission that their journey's over.
Yeah, but you see her running and crying for Mimi, and then she gets her hat because it falls off. Like so many people have said, like, bro, I bawled my eyes out because that's so sad. Like they're saying goodbye.
And also consider how many characters died along the way.
No. I found out that there's like the whole thing with the Dark Masters.
Yeah,
there was a
Pokemon, Chumon, Wizardmon, Waymon
in a novel, and it's actually they actually went
Leomon.
in more deeper. That Metal Seadramon shot him, but also wrapped around him and was torturing him before he died.
Yeah.
It was so bad. Like you felt like Leomon died.
Plus the army of Nunamon in the Machine Dramon episode.
You felt horrible because they were protecting the kids. They were like, we have to protect them. We have to save them. And it's like, yeah. So yeah, you have the right to feel sad.
And Pumpkemon and Bokumon.
Yeah, and even the whole the OVA of Taichi and Hikari meeting Greymon for the first time. It's like, yeah, you're right. But why? Why did that happen? It's because that egg was not supposed to be there, and the Parrotmon was supposed to get it back. But again, it went berserk a little bit and was going to attack the kids. We didn't see that in the movie. But Greymon got up and protected them. So it, in turn, also sacrificed itself. So it's sad.
Yeah.
It had feeling. Pokemon doesn't have that. We have Bye-Bye Butterfree, and that's it.
Yeah. Like, maybe we might have also had, the ghost of the woman that's waiting, which is actually...
That was entertaining, but it wasn't as sad. It's more like, it's confirming the legend's actually true.
Yeah, but it is kind of sad that she will live out the rest of eternity still waiting.
Yeah. But again, where Digimon had more heart and story. And I mean, even though people want to be like, how the hell does this transform into that? Well, how the hell does the Transformer turn into from that to this? I mean, it does. I mean, logically, it makes sense. So, I mean, don't rag on Digimon.
Besides, they're based on two completely different concepts. Pokemon's based on capsule toys, like Gashapon, while Digimon is and Beetle Wrestling. While Digimon is based on V-Pets. Tamagotchi.
And I don't hear anyone complaining about when your cat Digimon evolves into a sexy blonde angel.
No.
I don't hear anyone complaining.
But I hate the complaints that Digimon's a ripoff of Pokemon, which it is not.
It's not.
If anything, blame the people marketing the localized names of the shows because Pokemon, like its actual name is actually Pocket Monsters.
Pocket Monsters, yeah.
But then when they localized it to America, they called it Pokemon for short for marketing purposes. But then in Japan, like Digimon was originally called Digimon, which is short for digital monsters. But
yeah, who ripped off who first?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go. A little snippet of anime in this Kamen Rider review.
Yeah, but for real, the title's extremely misleading.
Oh yeah. No joke.
Yeah, for a movie called Versus King Dark, you get very little of actual King Dark in it.
King Dark, he's nuts, man.
But you see, King Dark does something different in the movie than he does in the show. Here, he actually winks.
Yeah, he winks. He kawaii winked. I was like, oh, it's so cute.
Yeah.
But after that, like, no, that's it. That's
6 out of 10.
That's as high as I say it can go. Nothing more. Like there's nothing more. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's entertaining. I'm not gonna lie, but what did we do to expand on this world? Nothing.
Just recognize that these 4 characters existed. But the thing is, next episode is going to do the very same thing. Literally, the very next episode we're going to be discussing, episode 27, will literally be going over the same thing.
Well, if you didn't see the movie, then you're gonna watch this review with us on the show. So everyone tune into that.
All right, and of course, if you enjoyed having us discuss this movie and this TV show, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos, and share our videos because we only need 10 more subscribers to reach our goal to discuss the 2B TV Power Rangers fan film, and we're looking forward to that. Less than others. But we are doing it for you guys, our beloved fans. So definitely spread the word around. And of course, check out the other shows we've been doing. We got Ultraman X on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gov on Wednesday. Ultraman X on Mondays, Kamen Rider Gov on Wednesday. This week, Bakuage Sentai Boom Boom Jur on Thursday, our finale. Will be the final episode. Because we're filming this on Saturday, that means the final episode airs tonight, and we will discuss it on Thursday. And then next week, we're going to go into our 50th anniversary, the 49th season, #1 Sentai, Go Jujer.
That promo episode 0, tell me that's not a G Gundam reference.
Yeah.
Legitimately, it's like, what? Okay. I think I might be interested.
The sky, all the Sentai will fight each other to figure out who will be #1.
I actually watch this canonically. I really am, because I'm like, wow, we're really just throwing that in there, aren't we? We're doing a
#1 Sentai. Go Jujer. But yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah,
but thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and then, of course, on Sundays, we are resuming the TV run of Kamen Rider X. There's only 9 episodes left, which means we only have to do 9 more. We only have to do 2 more actual podcasts to complete it. And then we get to spin the wheel again.
Spin wheel Chan one more time to see who we get.
Yes. Will we get Super 1? Will we get Amazon? Will we get the original 71? Will we get Drive? X-Aid? Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? But man, it felt so fast. It's like we just started this January and here we are. We're almost done with Kamen Rider X. Just 2 more weeks to go.
2 more, people. Put in your bets. Let us know in the comments, or let us know in our personal media what you think or hoping what the next Rider series will be.
All right. And of course, check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show. And if you want to follow our personal content, where can the people find you?
Just on IG. I've noticed that my number count has gone up in followers. So thank you so much, you guys, and thank you for your comments and all your messages.
Yeah. And my count also went up ever so slightly. On Instagram at Boken_Kabuto and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. With all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and enjoy your Super Bowl. May the team that you placed your life savings on win. But
Protect
also
your homes, because either or one of them, well, both of them, the city might be burning by the end of the night. One or both might be.
One or both. Let's hope neither, but you never know. You never know. But that's why, heed our advice. Have a good time. Be respectful to yourselves and each other. And we'll see you guys next time. Happy weekend.